What's going on, Stim Junkies? Hi, Stim Ace here, and I do hope you guys are having an incredible week. We are nearing High Stim Saturday, and I know a lot of you guys are tuning into the channel in the hopes of seeing High Stim Ace review the next crazy, illicit high stim hitter, and those are coming, guys. I'm actually in the process right now of running various products, and I'm going to be dropping a bunch of crazy reviews in the coming weeks. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned if you are not subscribed, and man, you guys are in for a whole bunch of treats. I know you stim heads are always looking for the next big one. But with that being said, other than pre-workouts, another big essential on a typical gym bros list is protein powder. And I know that every brand has their own protein powder. You got the casein, you got the isolates, you got the concentrates, you got, there's so many, the clear ones, you know, and it's hard to find a good, reliable protein. Now, me personally, I always say Apollo Nutrition is number one when it comes to proteins. You guys know what I think about Apollon's Formula X, about their Isoblast. I literally just made an order and I stocked up on a couple more proteins from them. But with that being said, I decided to give a new brand a shot because this is a brand that's very popular. They're mainstream, maybe not on the level of like a Ghost or, you know, Rise or something like that, but they're a pretty darn mainstream brand. And it's a brand that I've always kind of wanted to dabble with. I've hit them up numerous times. I never heard back from them. So I guess they're not interested in what High Ace has to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I did pick up 3 proteins from Axe and Sledge, and I picked them up on NutriCartel.com. So what we're going to do today is kind of go over these 3 proteins. I'm not going to break down all the macros exactly because I'm kind of reviewing 3 products in one shot, but we're going to talk about the differences. I'm going to tell you what I think about the flavor, the mixability, the efficiency, the serving size, and everything else that comes with it. So let's roll that intro, guys. And when we come back, we're going to discuss the 3 proteins that I have here in the studio from Axe and Sledge. All right, guys, so I did hit up my friend Jake over at NutriCartel.com, and I told him I was interested in picking up the Axe and Sledge protein, so he gave me 2 recommendations. This is going back a couple of weeks because I've been sitting on these products for a while. I've been running them, and I've mixed them with water, with almond milk, and even with skim milk, you know, but we're going to keep that a secret just between the 2 of us. So we're going to go over them one by one, and we're going to begin with the one that intrigued me the most, and this here is their farm-fed Marshmallow Milk. Yeah, guys, Marshmallow Milk farm-fed from Axe and Sledge. And I don't know, there was just something right off the bat that intrigued me about this one. Just the name Marshmallow Milk makes me think of Lucky Charms, and I haven't had Lucky Charms probably since I was in elementary school, so I was very, very intrigued. The graphic is nice, it's colorful, and it's 100 calories per scoop. 100 calories. I don't think I've ever had any protein that wasn't a clear protein that had 100 calories per scoop. And the scoop comes in at 30.7 grams, 28 servings per container. So definitely getting your money's worth with this one. And I know protein prices are rising, but you can't beat this, especially if you're cutting. 100 calories, 28 servings. It's really, really solid. So that's the first flavor I have. We're going to talk about it in a moment. The other flavor I have is another really, really popular one. I actually think the founder, I'm blanking out on his name right now, but the founder of Axe and Sledge himself said that this was one of his favorite flavors. And what we have here is also farm-fed, never-ending chocolate. And it's got a very similar theme over here. It kind of looks like Cocoa Pebbles, the cereal, the font and whatnot. And I like chocolate. You know, chocolate's a very safe flavor. It's very hard to screw up. I remember back in the day when I was penny pinching and I literally was getting the cheapest proteins, you know, the Muscle Milk Isolate and the Optimum Nutrition and Muscle Farm or MP Farm, whatever the heck it was called. I was getting all these cheap proteins. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. I would always go with chocolate because chocolate is a very safe flavor. Kind of like fruit punch is a safe flavor for pre-workouts. Chocolate is always a safe flavor. And this one intrigued me. They said it's a very, very chocolatey flavor. And it's got a nice graphic on here. It says all the chocolate you can take. And yeah, I don't know, just something about this one really intrigued me, and I was very interested in picking this one up. I wanted to see if there's something to it, if you can actually take a flavor as popular and universal as chocolate and actually do something special with it. So this one's very similar, also 28 servings per container. The scoop is a little heavier, 32 grams on here, and that's 110 calories, which, by the way, is still less than a lot of other proteins. I'm used to having a protein that has 120, usually 130 calories per scoop, and usually get like 24, 25 grams of protein. That's kind of across the spectrum. With this one here, it claims you're getting 25 grams of protein. Okay, it says whey protein isolate, so that's good. You know, no concentrate in here. This is an isolate, which I like, and I sure as heck hope it's an isolate because I paid a premium price for this one. So that is the second one I have here. And the last one, which I think this is actually one of their most popular flavors, this is also farm-fed peanut butter and honey. Yeah, guys, not peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and honey. Actually, very nostalgic for me because growing up, my mom used to make me peanut butter and honey sandwiches. A lot of times when we did run out of jelly, and even when we had jelly in the house, peanut butter and honey slaps. I think Skippy back in the day used to even have a honey-infused peanut butter. Not that I would know anything about that now. I haven't had Skippy in many, many years, but this one here is probably their most popular flavor, at least like top 3 popular flavors. The marshmallow milk is also very popular, as is the chocolate. So I essentially got the 3 most popular flavors. I was also kind of leaning towards the cold brew, which just dropped like a couple of days before I made the order. I did pick these up on the Easter sale over from NutriCartel.com. So, you know, I tried all these out. I've experimented with them, and I'm not going to do a live taste test on here because I got 3 different proteins, but I am going to break it down in detail, tell you the flavor and what I think of all these products here. So since I was already holding it up, let's go with the peanut butter and honey. And this one comes in at 120 calories, so a tiny bit more than the other 2. But again, 120 calories is very solid. The scoop is also heavier, 32.6 grams, 28 servings per container, and 15 grams of protein. I'm not going to bother reading the rest of the label. It's not really necessary. If you guys want, you can go on NutriCartel.com and read the labels, okay, to your heart's content. But we're going to do the smell test right now. I'm going to tell you what I think. It smells kind of like Skippy peanut butter with honey. Essentially, that's what it smells like. I have a somewhat controversial opinion about this product here, and I'm going to get to it a little bit later, okay? And it's kind of my fault in a way, but this is supposed to be one of their best and most popular flavors. I know people rave about this one. I like this flavor. It's a solid peanut butter flavor. To me personally, it's nowhere near the top. That crown belongs to Apollo Nutrition's roasted peanut, or I should say salted peanut. I said roasted peanut because it has a roasted peanut kind of flavor, but it is actually the salted peanut. That to me is the best peanut/peanut butter protein you can ever have. And honestly, I think I got spoiled because this one here, by comparison, tasted very, very bland. And I'm not saying that as a negative. It's a very serviceable peanut butter flavor, probably better than a lot of other ones. But compared to that Apollon salted peanut with that rich flavor, you can like taste almost the skin of the peanut. This one by comparison is kind of tame, kind of bland. And the honey edition, I'm not super crazy about. It adds a little bit of sweetness that I'm not super nuts about. No pun intended, but it's a solid flavor. It's serviceable, but I would definitely have to rank this one as my least favorite of the 3. I'm still going to finish it, but as you can see, I've definitely used less of it than the other 2. I'm essentially, you know, close to being done with the other 2 flavors, but this one here, I still have a nice hefty amount of, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Again, not a bad flavor by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually a very pleasant flavor. But again, in comparison to that one and also the Apollon peanut butter cookie, it just doesn't come close. And I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So going into my second favorite flavor, it would have to be the never-ending chocolate. And this one here is very different. It's very unique from any other chocolate flavor I've ever had. And yeah, this is a popular one for a reason. Upon opening this one, oh my God, this does not smell like that nasty muscle milk chocolate, okay? It doesn't have that nasty whey chocolate smell to it. You guys know what I'm talking about. This smells like a rich hot cocoa, like a really, really rich hot cocoa, something that's made from natural cocoa powder. And even, you know, you have the like roasted marshmallows on top. It's a scent that has a lot of complexity to it, a lot of depth, a lot of richness, and it makes sense that it's called never-ending chocolate. It feels like there's 3 or 4 different types of chocolate scents all combining, but it's more on the natural side. It doesn't have that whey flavor to it. It doesn't have the artificial, over-the-top sugary chocolate. It's a very natural smelling drink. Oh my God, it's intoxicating. It's so freaking good, man. Oh, I love this smell. And you guys could see that I went through a lot of this one. I probably have about, I would estimate like 6 or 7 scoops left in here. So I've gone through my share of this one. And I do like it a lot, but I have to deduct a couple of points for one simple reason. And that reason is that there is clumping issues when it comes to this protein. Now, I tried it in water, I tried it with unsweetened almond milk, I tried it with skim milk, and unfortunately, all three experiments yielded the same results. And no matter how much I shake it, and even if I throw in the little metal bowl, which usually I don't do it, I feel like it's pointless, but I even threw in the little metal bowl in my shakers, and I shook the hell out of it, man. Like, really went crazy OCD with the shaking. Probably shook it for like a good 3 minutes, all right? And I'm not even exaggerating. There are still little clumps. And I don't know. I reached out to Jake from Neutral Cartel, and he told me it's because of the cocoa powder, and it's normal. But it's unfortunate because it really takes away from the experience, and the flavor is rich. It's delicious. It's not overly sweet. It's actually a very not sweet kind of flavor. The sweetness scale probably comes in at like a 4 out of 10, which for me is perfect. I don't like things that are overly sweet and sugary. So to me, this tastes like a natural rich, but I mean like a rich Dutch hot cocoa with those little toasted marshmallows on top. It tastes delicious, but just the clumping really is unfortunate. So I just shake it and shake it and shake it, and eventually I deal with a little bit less clumping, but you're still going to get the clumps. Now, there were a couple of times where I didn't get the clumps, so you're not always going to get the clumps. I don't know exactly what triggers it. I think if you mix it with like super cold almond milk or skim milk or cold water, I think that will kind of instantly clump a little bit of it, and then you're kind of screwed. So I would mix it in with like room temperature or just slightly cool almond milk or whatever you mix it with. Don't mix it with ice cold liquids because then it will clump. But other than that, it's a super solid flavor. And finally, coming in at the #1 spot, the undisputed king of Axe and Sledge farm-fed protein has to be the Marshmallow Milk. This is absolute perfection. This might be one of my top favorite proteins of all time, and you best believe I'm going to be ordering another tub of this bad boy here. This literally tastes like the leftover marshmallow milk that you would have in a bowl of Lucky Charms after you finish the bowl and there's that little bit of milk left that absorbed all the little marshmallow flavors, and you have the little colors, a little bit of the pink, the green, the blue, the yellow, right? You know, from these little hard artificial marshmallows you had as a kid. Imagine that's been soaking in the milk, and then you're drinking that milk in the end. You guys know that's the best part of the bowl, right? The cereal's great, but taking that big swig in the end, that's the cherry on top, man. That's the explanation point that really brings everything together. And that is exactly what this protein tastes like. There are no clumping issues. There's no stomach issues. It's a smooth flavor. It's a little bit sweeter than the cocoa flavor. So the chocolate one, like I said, 4 out of 10 on the sweetness scale. This one's like a maybe 6.57. Still not super sweet, but definitely more sweet than the other two flavors. It's delicious though. And 100 calories, it's so freaking hard to believe. It's light, it's flavorful, it's rich, but it's also delicate and complex and flavorful. And I'm gonna freaking go have a scoop of this right now because this is so darn delicious. So the #1 spot definitely has to go to the Marshmallow Milk from Axe and Sledge. So do I see myself switching over to Axe and Sledge and relying on them as my primary protein provider? No. But I do see myself picking up a couple more flavors down the line to try out. I really want to try that cold brew, and they had like a Dippin' Dots strawberry flavor, which looked really interesting. So I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm interested. I'm not going to go out of my way to pick up more flavors, but once I run out of these, and I got a whole bunch of other tubs waiting to be cranked open, once I get through a couple more tubs, maybe in like 3-4 months from now, I might pick up like another 2. Or if Axe and Sledge, if you guys are watching, if you're interested in Heist reviewing your proteins as well as any of your other products, then make sure to hit me up on Instagram at Heist and we can work something out. Guys, follow me on Instagram as well at Heist. If you found this video enjoyable and beneficial to you, don't forget to give me a big like on here. It does help the algorithm. Comment down below. Let me know if you vibe with Axe and Sledge. What are some of your favorite protein flavors? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, what are some of your favorite products from Axe and Sledge? I know they have that DBAP protein, I think it's called. That's supposed to be their high stim, and their hydraulic looks really good. That's their non-stim hitter. It looks like a super loaded label. So I want to try those 2 products out. I might. We'll see if they send them my way or not, but I'm definitely interested. So let me know down below, guys, what are some of your favorite overall products from Axe and Sledge? Once again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I am currently conducting a lot of research on various types of products, and there's a lot of fire content dropping in the next couple of weeks and months. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace, signing off.